What's up, YouTube? It is your boy, the one, the only, the real CT, and I am back in this thing. Y'all, we gotta get into the RHOA review. Like I said in my previous video, y'all, I am dropping all 4 of my reviews. I am 4 episodes behind, and I just had to take a break, y'all, from the reviews because they was just pissing me off. If it ain't Kimberly, it's Shamea. If it ain't Shamea, it's Kelly. If it ain't Kelly, it's Pinky. It's just I was tired. I was exhausted. I had to take some time away. I had to breathe and I had to go back and review, take notes, and come back to y'all when I felt better. Okay. But before we get into this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when I go live or when I upload a new video. Now, I am the real CT, and you know I'm always going to bring you nothing but real moments, real headlines, real life, real CT, y'all. So let's get into this video. We are starting with, we left off on episode 8, if I'm not mistaken, and that was the fight at the wellness event with Phaedra's house, between Kelly and Portia. And like I told y'all, I really wanted Portia to grab up the Hobbit and shake her loose real quick. Just shake her real quick. And I got a different love for Kelly now. And we'll get into that. But I looked at Kelly and I'm like, honestly, minus the bad work pictures out there that's floating around internet, Kelly, she's really not ugly. Like, I personally would have preferred her the before, but the $70,000 teeth, well worth it, Kelly, but you should have been using it to your bills. But we'll get into that. I'm not gonna jump ahead, y'all. So we start out with let's see here. We're picking up at the wellness event at Phaedra's session. And y'all, I'm looking at my notes. So if y'all see me looking at, I'm looking at my notes to stay abrupt of what I want to talk about today. And I'm just gonna go through the episode and whatever I feel in that moment that I wrote down. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. So Kelly's rushed out. She's rushed out, and we see her say, I will smack a bitch. I'm not the one. Kelly, if you're going through so much and it took you so much to be there today, why go? Stay at home. And I know y'all say, oh, it's a group taping. You can't miss group tapings. If you was really going through it that much, you should have called production and said, I just can't do it today. I can't do it. They could have filmed you doing something else, for God's sakes. But Kelly's going off. Kelly, you had no right of putting your finger in your glass in Portia's face. But Portia also, you had that pointing spirit. But I know when she said you done effed every Nigerian in Atlanta, that'll make you want to snatch it. I feel you, Portia. I feel you. So Portia says he was married and she's lying. Okay, she said Kelly is lying. She been going with that married man. He was a preacher, and she effed him after BT weekend. And she tells her to take your lick and sit down. You tried to get her last year about stealing somebody's husband. She's getting you back this year, and you can't take it. Okay, she said, let's see. Portia says, why do you have to beef with me for Kimberly? She's a follower. She said that Kelly's beefing with her because of K. Michelle. It's giving follower. And you know what? K. Michelle and Kelly both was working my last daggone nerve, sitting there amening to the choir with everything each of them say. So I felt I had to step back. I was like, Shamea's very quiet this week. So maybe it ain't Shamea that's set up the scheme and plot to turn the people against Portia, Phaedra, Drew, and stuff. But you know what? I go back to Shamea ain't all that damn innocent. For starters, we got to get into her Carlos King interview, but we're going to get into that further down the line. So let's see. Kelly's not going to give them any of her pain. That's what she tells them. She's not going to give them any of her pain and things she went through because she doesn't trust the group. She don't trust them. Y'all. And the code for her, go outside with Portia and then they come back. Oh, okay. Oh, the code 4. I said the code. The core 4, go outside with Portia. So that's Angela, Phaedra. I think Cynthia was gone. Angela, Phaedra, who was it? Angela, Phaedra, Drew, somebody's missing. Oh, and Portia. They all go out with Portia, right? And they calming Portia down. So Portia was gonna leave, but she said, I'm not gonna let her ruin this event. I'm hungry. Let's go back inside. Then we got the other team. We got Kimberly, Pinky, Shamea, and Kelly. And you know what? In this episode, I was looking at Pinky, and Pinky really you see, Angela, she dragged her with that Mr. Clean and all that woman in the basement. And I mean, not Angela, Pinky, she didn't shut all the way up. But I see Pinky really know what Kimberly and them are doing. It ain't right. But she don't want to divert now because she's already made herself in, and she got this alliance with this side of the team. And I think deep down she know, oh, you riding on the wrong team. And she really want to be with the core four. And I see Pinky, she's gonna give me, she's definitely typecast. She's a Cynthia. She gonna go with the win. She gonna go with the win. Right now it's hard with, she's sticking with them, but she really want to lean to that core four. I see it. I feel it in my spirit. So the ladies, Kelly's group, they leave. They go home. Phaedra has their plates packed up. And Drew, they get back to the table with the core four, and Drew says that she tried to be supportive and getting okay, but she just has a lot of energy. And get to know Kay, excuse me. She tried to be supportive and get to know Kay, but she just has a lot of negative energy coming for her, and she doesn't know where it's coming from. Angela says she doesn't want any of the girls to feel like she felt last year, and she just hate that they feel this way. I'm like, Angela, stop. What do you mean you feel last year? You came in like a hot rocket. What are we talking about here? Okay. Kay says she tried to talk to Drew. Kay, where did you try to talk to Drew? Where? You told her, you keep holding on to this issue about black that us as the viewers have not seen. So see, it's coming back to me. I'm becoming exhausted with Kimberly again. I'm coming exhausted with Kimberly. She said that Drew had the face, You're being nasty. That's what Drew said. Kay said she tried to talk to Drew, but she's being nasty and negative. Like, at this point, get off the show. Oh, I think that's what I said, y'all. Kay says she's trying to talk to Drew, but no, she's being nasty and negative. Kimberly's been very nasty and negative, and you've already let us in that you can't be produced, and you feel that Portia is trying to produce you, and the girls are producing you, and you can't be produced. So you shook up the storyline by making something, a plot and a scheme that Ty set up that ain't really tied, and the scheme ain't really there. The opposition ain't really there. So it's just like, what is going on here? What is really going on here? And the fact that it's given that these girls have binge watched the show, including Kimberly, including Kelly, because they both have made slight what should I call it? Recognition? Is that what I want to say? Or references from the last season or season prior with K Michelle calling out Drew Ralph, talking about she got a man in the basement with hairs on his chest. And I love how Bravo denounced what she was talking about, because now you're reaching, darling. Anybody know Ralph? No, he don't got no hair on his chest. Like, come on. But they have definitely been watching old seasons of the show, and they come on there thinking they're going to try and create moments, and that's just not how it's going to work. It's giving stage, Kimberly. Everything you do is giving stage. This is not Love and Hip Hop. You are not in Love and Hip Hop anymore. This is Bravo Universe, and we need you to catch up or get off the show quickly. This ain't got nothing to do with your music. I still love you as an artist, but on my show, you get up my show, and I don't appreciate it. Now, what I will say, I don't think the ratings are low this season. But, like, come on, let's have real storylines, real authentic storylines, because you reaching with this whole black thing is just getting on my nerves, okay? So the group is fractured, okay? Portia calls out how Kay and Kelly were tag teaming and signing and co-signing each other, and I agree. I agree. Kay says Portia don't run Atlanta. Well, why is that even being brought up? Why is that a topic of conversation? Please. So then the next thing we see Shamea and her parents, and one thing I can say, looking at that mama house, they putting Gerald's money to good use. Even though I know Shamea said she had money before Gerald, but we know Gerald increased whatever she had. So that mama house looked real nice. I said, "Wow, I'm sure it's paid off allegedly." Okay, get into it. So next, oh, she's telling her mom and her sister and her dad about the wellness event and the things that happened and how her float started to lose air. And she said it was a sign of negative energy and God was speaking to her. And that the group is just divided. And she says, she starts talking about Angela. And then again, we're going back, Shamea, you're putting the blame for the division on Angela. And I don't feel like it's Angela. I feel like everybody's played a part. And what y'all need to do is either apologize, move on, but y'all apologize and y'all keep bringing up the same issue over and over. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. She talks about the surrogate journey and how she's had the failed transfers, you guys, and she's just emotionally drained with the last meal embryo. So she says she's going through a lot, and when she's with the group, she wants to have fun. So then next we see Angela at her investment properties. That's the next scene. She's doing something in there. Then we see Portia and Dennis. It looks like they had a drive-through. They're dropping off Pilar. They give us a B-roll of Drew's lunch with her new manager. Okay. Then we switch over to Phaedra's house. Phaedra has lunch with Kelly. Okay. Kelly comes in. And I like that Kelly's fun size. I really wish she would stop fighting with the whole group and just get it together. Kelly comes in, she apologized to Phaedra. She tells us she never wanted to disrespect her home, and that just wasn't like her. She's just going through so much with, not being able to film with her kids. Kelly, your life is more than your kids. Come on. I understand you can't film with them, but even when you can film them, we only see them once or twice. So, like, what's really going on here? She says she had enough of Portia. This is what she's telling the Phaedra, because Phaedra's like, y'all got to get together. She tells her she had enough of Portia, putting her finger in her face. And Kelly says she is not interested in being Portia's friend when she thinks it's convenient for her. She's a friend 365 days a year and not 265 days a year. And as y'all know, back in the day, Portia said 265 days a year, not 365 days a year. So I'm like, okay, I told y'all, K. Michelle and Kelly, they've been studying this show. They're using references from the old days, okay? So Kay, oh yeah. I told y'all about Kay talking about Ralph, and it was all wrong. So they're talking about Kelly's divorce. Kelly says she has a new man, but we don't know who he is, aka Jarvis. She's not gonna let us know who he is until things are really official. And so Phaedra commends her. She's happy about it. And yeah, that's pretty much they seen that what I really want to touch on then. So then we switch over to Angela and Pinky's daughters. Pinky has a beautiful daughter. She's adorable. She's so cute. She looks just like the dad or Pinky's husband. So Pinky and Angela, they have a photo shoot of their two daughters. Cynthia comes and helps. And when I tell y'all Cynthia arrived, it's like those kids just came to life. Cynthia is really a model teacher. Like, she does that for real. So then after the photo shoot, they sit down and talk to Cynthia, catching her up on what happened at the wellness event and what she missed. They break down how Kay problem with Portia. And Pinky says that Kay feels that Portia's the mean girl. First, it was with the miscarriage comment. Then it was with her calling Kelly a homewrecker or sleeping with a married man. And then it was with Portia talking to her ex. It's just a reach. And Cynthia's like, No, I don't agree. I don't agree. Well, I see, and Cynthia's known Portia longer than any of them girls. What she sees is Portia really getting to know her and trying to be K Michelle's friend. And that's what the audience sees as well. So what's really going on here, y'all? So Pinky jumps in, and Pinky in that mighty mouth is just like, I'm starting to like Pinky, but I'm then that might be like, Pinky, shut up, please. Just chatty patty. Zip it. Okay. Angela and Pinky, Pinky says that Angela instigates things. And Cynthia jumps in and says, well, wait a minute now, Pinky. Wait a minute. You're not too far from instigating things yourself. So how are you going to come for Angela? And so Angela said, you know what, Pinky, what I respect about you is you called me out, but you didn't leave me out there by myself. So I like to see them in that place, especially after that first episode, whatever episode that was. And Angela had to get her all the way together and read her fulfill. So I was here for that. So then we switch over, y'all. Kelly's getting her teeth done. She's spending a bag. She's spending Jarvis's bag, $70,000 to get her teeth done. Now, what I can say, her teeth did look good, but $70,000 and you sit up here saying you're broke, you should have took that $70,000 and put it back in your bank account or put it into your property that you said is not making any money, Kelly. Like, what's really going on here? He sends her flowers, calls her on the phone. She says Shamea introduce her. Then Shamea comes in and they sit in there and she get her teeth done. And then that's the end of the scene. Okay. Next, Drew and her team. I really would like to see Drew. Bravo. Can we give Drew a spinoff with her team? Because I feel like that would be so entertaining. But we see Drew introduce her new manager to the team. They're talking about professionalism, working together, being one. Drew brings up that she was on location, and while she was gone, she had to find out that the staff was in a fight. And she said that's not unprofessional. So she cries and she tells us that, maybe it's time to make some changes on the team. She said she's been doing this since she's 8 years old. This is a business. She knows how to run her business. So that was that. But I think Drew need her own show with her team because it will be very entertaining. So then right after that, Cynthia Pinky, they meet after the fight. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Cynthia Pinky, K Michelle, Portia. Cynthia Pinky, K Michelle, Portia. They all meet for lunch after the fight. K finally seems normal. Nice K. We getting nice K now, y'all. She seems normal. She asks Portia, how are you today? You look beautiful. We're still a little dry though, okay? But we'll take what we can get at this point, okay? We'll take whatever we can get other than that fake scheme you done came up with your brain, okay? She says she doesn't feel that Portia is a bad person. She just feels she's not the smartest. But she's going to be quiet because she believes Portia is bigger than her. And Portia will whoop her ass. And I'm glad you know that, K. Michelle. I'm glad you know. So Cynthia and Pinky leave the table so K. Michelle and Portia can have a one-on-one. Portia says she don't. So they do a flashback of Pinky coming to Portia's house to talk about the incident and how they can move forward. And Portia said Pinky don't let you get a word in edgewise. Motor mouth, chatty patty is blah, 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 blah. And I don't like that. I don't like somebody because it comes off, it can come off aggressive, but it also comes off very confrontational as too. When you're only getting your point across and you don't let nobody else get their point across. And then when it's time for the other person to say what they or rebuttal what you're saying, you end the conversation, you cut it off. I don't like that. You need to work on that, Pinky. You need to work on that ASAP. Okay. So Portia says to K Michelle, she says the plot, if she would tell her what the plot is or who is saying this or what it is, she could shut it down. Kay says her first day, seeing Portia call Kelly and tell Kelly she's sleeping with a married man threw her off. It just threw her off, you know. She said, and it put her on guard that she has to be careful of what she does and says around Portia. And I'm just like, hey, you come from Love and Hip Hop. Could you please stop with this fictitious ass shit? It's pissing me off. For real. And I like K Michelle. But now I'm not liking you. You're pissing me off. Peace and light, 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 peace and light. I got to get back centered, y'all. Because when I just think of how Kay, I was rooting for her to be on this show, and then she get on here and show her ass. It irritates me. So they have this little conversation, and Kay promises Portia that if they moving forward, whatever they get into, she will come to her about the issue. She said, but she might need 48 hours. But if she has a problem, she's going to address it with Portia. So Pinky and Cynthia, they're on their way back to the table, and they like, oh, hi, when da-da-da-da. And so K Michelle, back again, I told y'all they've been studying this show. K Michelle says, what? She pulls season 4 out the bag, season 4 or 5, friendship contract. She says her and Portia have a friendship contract now. I told y'all, that's the true scheme in the plot. These girls have been watching this show, and they come on here thinking they're going to create these moments. And that's just not how it works, because once you get on this show, we see past the bullshit. We see past the fakeness. We see past the fake storylines. Give us the real. Immediately. So all of that happened. Okay. Portia says Kay needs to let it go. And now they move on to Drew and K Michelle. And Kay stops. She says first it was Black. The second one was the rumor about her and her long toes. And I'm like, okay. Kimberly, could you please stop this already? Coming to the end of the episode, and we see Shamea, which I was rooting for Shamea. But Shamea keeps pissing me out because I don't like that victim I don't like it, Shamea. I don't like it. Stop blaming everybody. Now, I'm not going to say that everybody's innocent, but just stop blaming everybody. Whatever the people are saying you did, rebuttal what they're saying, fix it, apologize, move on, and stop bringing it up. And then maybe we'll like you more. Because I was rooting for Shamea last season. And it's like after this whole Portia ordeal, she just can't get herself back centered. And then you on Carlos King crying and whining. Now, I did feel a little sorry for you, but I think that was your point. You wanted me to feel sorry for you, like you did on this most recent episode, crying at the end. No one wants me to have a friend. Shamea, stop. 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 And you a bad bitch. I love you. Honestly, deep down. The body, the face, the hair, wardrobe needs a little work. But you still bad. That ass is bad as hell. So I need you to get it together. Get it together, Shamea. So this last scene, we're coming up on Angela and Shamea. They're meeting for the first time because Angela says she feels her what did she say? Her spirit, her discernment. She said her discernment tells her that Shamea is causing all of this division in the group. And Shamea said she need to use her discernment. Angela need to use her discernment because she's causing the division in the group. How about both of y'all causing division in the group because y'all won't move the hell on? Move the fuck on. We tired of it. Damn. So Shamea asks what made her set this up. Angela says she feels like a lot of things are going on between them. And she says it always seems like she's picking Angela. Hold on, wait. Let me see what I say. I said she says it always seems like she's picking Angela's. Oh, I don't know what I was trying to say here, y'all. I'm gonna read y'all what I said. I said she says it always seems like she's picking on Angela. Shamea says no. Okay, I see what I was saying. Shamea saying it always seems like Angela's picking on her. Angela says, why aren't you always making yourself the victim? Well, she's saying that to Shamea. So Shamea says, I'm not making myself the victim. I'm not being the victim. Angela says, there you go. There you go. And you know what? I could kind of see what Angela and them are saying. You know, Shamea, she throw that rock in her hands. And she even say, and I hate to keep bringing this up because as this episode premiered, she had not done that Carlos King interview, which I think I might do a video on that. But we see her talking that Carlos King interview that she's not trying to be a victim, but they all have said stuff on camera and off camera. And I'm just like, Shamea, this is what they're talking about. This is the prime thing that they're talking about. On what you say. So clearly you've been saying shit off camera and then maybe forgetting, and then it's transcending on camera. And so then when they bring it out on camera, you rebuttal it like it didn't happen. I can't keep up. Shamea tells Angela she needs to use her discernment to sell some houses. Meanwhile, while they're going back and forth, the waitress interrupts and asks them, are they ready to order? Okay. Angela says she's not bothered by Shamea. Shamea says she's bothered by her. Angela says she's not bothered by Shamea, and she's low on the scale to be bothered by. She says she broke up their friendship. That's what I think Shamea said. And Angela said, no, that's not true. She says, why he keeps saying she's throwing things up with K. Michelle. That's what Shamea said to Angela. Why she keeps saying she's bringing things up and stirring things up with K. Michelle. Angela said every time she's confronted on how she made someone feel, she evades accountability. And I agree. From what we're seeing, Shamea is evading accountability. I've never not seen her apologize and then just move on. She apologized and then she'll bring it up again or get into something else. And it's really going back to the root of the first issue that they had. And that's with her, Drew, her and Portia. That's something different. So Angela said, who is that? Who is that I'm talking to? Am I talking up Candy? Are you bringing up Candy? And Shamea said, what? You don't even know Candy. Why are you bringing her up? And y'all know Candy had the tweet. She said, now why is she in it? Because we all know that Candy was probably like, Shamea, you need to allegedly. We don't know. I'm just saying. We just saying. So Angela said she come to eat, not argue, and she was irritated. So then we see Shamea storm out. They ain't even get to eat. They cuss each other out. I mean, they go so low as in to say, Angela said, let's talk about her working for the Falcons and the Hawks and how she's effing the team and how she's always outside. And so Shamea said, well, if I'm outside, Charles is outside, which is Angela's husband, because I see him outside when I'm out there. So I said, whoa, this is going too low. So Angela said, who called? Oh, Shamea called the Sasquatch. Now, I'm going to give it to Shamea. Shamea, she did do good with them quick comebacks in that scene. I'm going to give it to her. I'm going to give it to you, Shamea. And Angela told her, get out here with a fake ass. I screamed. I said, Lord. Now, what I do appreciate about this particular episode is the nostalgic of, at the end of that scene, we saw the end scene confessionals. Shamea standing by her car. Angela standing, I don't know what Angela's standing, but they did her confessional right after the situation happened. And it gives very much nostalgic of Kim. It gives very much nostalgic of Nene and Sheree standing outside that restaurant when Sheree tugged at Kim's wig. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it, y'all. So y'all drop in the comments and tell me what y'all thought about episode 9 of RHOA. What were your thoughts? Drop in the comments, y'all. And as y'all know, I am the real CT, and I'm always gonna bring you nothing but real moments, real headlines, real life, real CT. Y'all be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the page, y'all. I said share the page. Subscribe. Drop in the comments. Tell me what you think. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Now, y'all stay tuned for the next RHOA reviews. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Peace.